Look at all of these peppers off of just one plant grown in the compost. That is outstanding. Guten gardening, everybody. Our fall garden is coming along quite nicely, but we still have a few vegetables we need to bring in as the last of our summer crop. And when I say a few, well, let's check it out. Tonight marks the first of about 3 consecutive nights where the temperature is going to drop below 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. So we're going to start pulling up these butternut squash. We don't want them to suffer any frost damage. Let's get the rest of these out of here. Not too big. Not too big, but a nice size anyway. Overall, I think we'd have to admit to being a little disappointed by our overall butternut squash harvest this year. But this one is fantastic. Size, weight. So this one will be great. Even the butternut squash in our compost didn't do as well as in years past. But that being said, any harvest is a good harvest, and we'll enjoy these for the next few months. The leaves on our jalapeno are completely gone, but the peppers have reddened up nicely, so we'll pull these off and enjoy them. Probably put some of these in our soup. We'll eat them straight like this. They're super hot and great tasting. Because we've been extremely patient, we have so many peppers turning color. I'm just going to pull the rest of these off here again. There's no need to make them wait out here and make them pay the price for this cold weather coming up. I think they've waited long enough. You know, one thing's for sure, this is by far the most peppers we've grown and been able to harvest in a year. These plants produce so well for us. We haven't had to buy peppers. We haven't had to buy, well, really, I can't think of the last time we had to buy any produce other than a few fruits here and there that we don't grow here, but that is outstanding. And to have them this late in the season, mid-October, to be able to harvest all these, that just extends the amount of time before we need to even consider buying peppers. And I'll tell you, you can freeze these, chop them up, put them in the freezer, and they'll last a long time. This one didn't turn, but these did. Beautiful pimento peppers. Look at that deep green color. So many peppers, and even more to pick off here. Wow. Look at these frying peppers, just waiting to be pulled off. These are so delicious, and they have so many seeds inside. We saved a bunch of seeds from our peppers this year. We saved a bunch of seeds from our tomatoes this year as well. Even the ones that aren't heirloom tomatoes we're saving, because I know they won't necessarily produce the exact same offspring, but yeah, it's an exciting experiment to see what they will produce. Look at that, it's a handful of delicious. This tiny little pepper plant produced exactly 1 pepper, but look at the color of this pepper. That's the brightest. It's like hunter orange right there. I can't wait to try this one. We've probably pulled 30, 40 peppers off here at least. Still has a ton more. So I'm gonna harvest all of this. Look at all of these peppers off of just one plant grown in the compost. That is outstanding. You know what? We're fortunate enough to even have a few eggplant left over. And they're not that big, but again, size doesn't really matter for these eggplants because the smaller ones tend to be softer and taste better anyway. So I'm gonna grab what's left of these. Down here in the compost, the plant that has provided us with the most eggplant all season has two more nice sized ones still in here. We waited a little bit long for this cauliflower, but look at the size of it compared to my hand. Bigger by far. So we're gonna get this one right out of here. It's huge. Look at the size of that. That little purplish discoloration is gonna be just fine. I'm not worried about that at all. Plus we have some other cauliflower that's coming in that's supposed to be that color, but that's in our fall garden. You know, this late in the season with these green tomatoes, I'm not gonna leave them out here. What we did is we picked a whole bunch the last time we were out and we put them in a box inside. And some people suggest putting in an apple or a banana with them to help them ripen, but we just put them in a box, an old Amazon box, and covered them up. A couple weeks later, they were ripe. So don't waste these for sure. Truthfully though, it's hard to believe there are still tomatoes out here. Mid-October, we've had a couple really cold evenings already, but they're still here. And even if they're not perfectly ripe, again, I'm not gonna leave them out here in this 30-degree weather. We're just gonna take them inside. I'm gonna let them ripen. Take a look at these daikon radishes. I've gotta pull one, right? I gotta see what it is. Oh, come on. Wow. Look at these. Look at these daikon radishes. This is just grown in a little pot here. And boy, they haven't stopped. We got a whole bunch more in there. I think we're gonna have to sample some of these, huh? We've been eating these leeks slowly but surely. They make absolutely fantastic seasoning for dishes like shrimp dishes and such. We just cut them down fine, almost like a green onion, but the flavor is just spectacular. We've also used this in some of our soups. Really good. So we gotta pull the rest of these out of here too. Great size. One that decided to stay small. No worries. Lots of brothers and sisters. Now these will store just fine in the fridge for a couple of weeks. We're not going to wash them. But what we will do is we'll wrap these in plastic wrap because they have a really strong smell. If you wrap them in plastic wrap, that smell doesn't spread to every other part of the fridge, which is probably not something that you want to have happen anyway. So, oh, look at this one. A beast. Challenge here, get the soil off, but look at that. Great size. Our first year really growing leeks at all, and they did just fine right by the onions. So I think in the future we'll do the same thing. We'll plant more of these. I really like the taste. I really like the addition that they make to to our meals. Harvest break. Take a look at this. This is our second crop, raspberries. Sometimes when you're out here, there you go, you need to take a little break and enjoy some fruit, huh? Not too bad, fruit in the middle of October. Oh, yummy. We've let these onions sit out here, dry out completely. You can see, if you look closely, some of the seeds are already falling out, but I'm gonna show you exactly how we harvest these seeds to save for next season. We're right here in the back of the main garden space. And these are just a few of the volunteer tomatoes that came up, and you'll see they're all shriveled up. But we're gonna keep these. We're gonna take them and pull the seeds right out of these and see what we can grow out of them. Now, we don't know the variety, because again, they're volunteer from a previous season. And so, in all likelihood, the result of trying to grow tomatoes from these seeds will result in something even different from this. It might not even be something that's overly productive, but experimentation is the key, yeah? And some of these are still in good enough shape that we can eat them. So, okay then. There are actually far more tomatoes here than I thought there were. All right then. I gotta tell you, I get just a little bit giddy when I see these harvests come in. You know, a late season harvest, a late summer harvest with all of this bounty, it's just bound to make you happy. I mean, we still have eggplant, our cauliflower. There's so much here. Look at all those peppers. A colorful, colorful harvest that's going to serve us for weeks to come. We hope you enjoyed this video. Again, it's never too late to get started here. We're about to transition from our fall into our winter garden. There's just so much to see, and we hope you're inspired to try some of these yourself. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, leave us a comment. Don't forget to share and subscribe, and remember, when you're with us, you are good to grow.